They do it with other people in so many words. So if you look at the do it with some other people,
it's there.
They said they available. My nigga brought.
Got a little Memphis.
I ain't get to show your people what I got. Let me show your people.
Come on, show the folks. Show the folks.
I wish I could turn that joint on. Where the camera? Boom. This a gift. Do y'all know how weird this felt?
How weird to get the gift.
The funny thing about it, I forgot what type of business they were. So when he came in, he just handed it to me wrapped in this joint.
Like it wasn't nothing. Like
yeah,
it's a regular gift. Like it's a pack of cookies in the back.
Yeah, you know, this was for them. This was they thank you gift. He was like, well, you know, we like to give people gifts and where the folks at? Yeah, they just handed the junk to me, just like, here you go.
Basic.
You know, we brought this for you. And I had to open up in front of them. I was like, man, what that?
They said they were nice enough to bring a nice
I told them, you know, niggas that brought me candles and shit before. I done got cookies. I ain't never had no guests with this the type of gift with y'all. They were dope. Y'all make sure y'all follow them. Look.
Follow them folks. Mr. and Mrs.
Let me tell you about the power of seeds when you sow seeds in folks' life. They multiply. So they came and gave me this joint. I'm gonna go buy the next motherfucker from. See y'all.
Bye, man. Ashes to breathe, man. Bye, but die. Every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. And now y'all are vibing with me. Tammy T. I got Mr. Dwayne Jones in the house. Y'all give it up for the brother right now. What you do? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here. Now tell the people a little bit about yourself, your background, and what it is that you do.
Wow, it's kind of a loaded question.
I already know. I know.
I'm originally from Memphis. I grew up in Orange Mound, Cherokee Heights area. Attended Melrose High School. Got a chance to go off to college and attended Tennessee State, majored in architecture engineering. Pledged Alpha.
All right now, hey.
Upon leaving Tennessee State, I worked in California for Turner Construction. Came back, became a general contractor. I've been a licensed general contractor and developer in Memphis for about 31 years now.
Okay.
I worked on quite a few notable projects. I worked on the Nehemiah project off of 3rd, built some affordable housing.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I did My Cup of Tea maybe about 6 years ago. It's a private label tea company.
My Cup of Tea has been coming up a lot lately. I got to get with them.
It's a private label tea, where they package tea with women from the Orange Mound community.
Wow.
I did Box Lot downtown.
With Mo's Bowls is in there. Okay,
right,
Box Lot, shout out.
And several other projects locally. So right now I'm a general contractor / developer and trying to revitalize the landscape of the inner city by building tiny affordable housing.
Okay. Now, what comes with the tiny housing? Like, because I've seen you say things on your Facebook page. Like, is that something that is being welcomed in Memphis, or are you having to really go to bat for the tiny houses? Like, what do we need to do to make sure this is a smooth transition for everybody involved? Because I see that this could be, it's definitely economical. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, and everybody, a lot of people are going to just like the being able to just have like a basic house with your basic needs. And so I feel like that's what the tiny house is providing. So how welcoming is that in the city of Memphis, though?
Well, it's welcomed by some, but it's disliked by many. On the part that is liked, actually has grown since the pandemic. Initially, you have a lot of people that are living in rooming houses, extended stay, sleeping on relative sofas, and people that are just in between.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a step up from living in the mission where you have to get out every day, and we appreciate the people in the mission.
We appreciate them, yes.
But at the end of the day, people want ownership, or people want clean, affordable housing.
Yes.
So right now, the biggest issue I'm having is people don't understand the value of construction. And since the pandemic, materials have gone up, but these houses were built in the process of the pandemic becoming an issue. Mm-hmm. So when you look at construction costs, people think you can build a tiny house for $15,000, $20,000. You can't buy the material for that amount.
Ooh.
So the cost associated with a tiny house is about $80 a square foot per se. And at the end of the day,
and how big is a tiny house? Like give me that in numbers. Like
the square footage?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have some permitted that are 280 square feet, but the 2 models I have built now, they're 480 square feet, 1 bedroom. And it's kind of, it was a lot of thought that went into this. It's like an 8-year process.
Okay.
And basically, like I said, people are sleeping on others' couches and staying to stay, but we need new, affordable housing in the inner city. Right now we have a lot of houses people are rehabbing, but they're plaster walls, no central heat and air, and they don't have any modern amenities. And some of the houses, they have roots that eventually grow up in the drainage system. So there are a lot of downsides and pitfalls you may run into rehabbing an existing house or even purchasing an existing house. We have people that are paying anywhere between $700, $800, $900 a month, and their utility bill may be $300 a month. So if you have a house with energy efficient, low E windows, insulated walls, it's a better opportunity for you.
It is. You're saving all the way around.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is to get people to understand they don't need as much space as they want. Getting what they need opposed to what they want all the time is kind of a difficult. Everybody wants a big house. I don't have anything against big houses, but it's a place. It may not be for everyone, but it is for someone. It's a place for the small house.
Right.
So we have a lot of vacant lots in the inner city due to the Brownsfield grant. And what they did, they had money for vacant, abandoned, and dilapidated homes to be raised or torn down.
Okay.
So the inner city is full of vacant lots. And nobody's running to come rebuild Orange Mound. Nobody's spending a dollar. So we haven't had any new construction other than maybe a few CHODOs, community housing development organizations, or nonprofits. But for an individual to come into the inner city and build a house, even at $80 a square foot, all these 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes people want, it's going to be at least, 1,000 to 1,200 square feet.
Right.
So you're looking at $100,000 house cost. So you're talking about $120,000 to $126,000 if you get a real estate agent involved. Who's going to come into Orange Mound and buy a $126,000, $130,000 house right now? It's not going to happen.
It's not. I can't see that happening.
Yeah. So my thing was to start small, get people in a new home at the 480 square foot, maybe the 50, 60,000 range, and build. But in the meantime, they started the Orange Mound Task Force, in which I was initially not invited to the table. And
initially, so are you at the table now?
No, they offered, but I respectfully declined.
Yeah.
So
hold on, this task force, what are they doing? How welcoming were they? I'm guessing they weren't for the tiny houses for you to decline their invitation to the task force.
Well, the problem I had with the task force was they came in the community and they selected people who are doing things in the community. My friend Brittany at Juice Orange Mound.
I know Brittany.
My pastor,
okay.
My pastor Whalen was originally an Orange Mound person. They had him on the committee and so forth. But they went out and got a lot of other people who are namesake people, but they weren't actually active in the community. So I don't know what they were looking for, but they eventually came and asked me to be a part, and I asked them what role do they want me to play. I mean, I didn't see the merit or the benefit where it would be mutual. Because they saw, it was on the news. They saw what I was doing while they had the task force. I tried to go up and approach Melvin Burgess. I don't mind telling folks' names. I tried to approach him, and he pushed me off to one of his assistants, and the guy talked to me in blue smoke, and he kept threatening to return my call. I called him a couple of times. Eventually, I did meet with Javier Bailey, which was a great guy.
Okay.
Had a great conversation. Yeah. And he had a female, I forgot her name. She's some kind of PR assistant. And we struck up a conversation, thought things were going well. But eventually, to me, I think things went south when I think she got offended when I told her that I will do whatever I can for the city, but I'm not doing it with the expectation of endorsing or supporting anybody's long-term political aspirations. So my thing was, I want to let them know I appreciate if they wanted to partner with me and do some projects. Fine. We can do the ribbon cuttings. They can provide land. They can provide funding. But I'm not stamping anybody. Memphis is too small. And I just can't. I've been here my whole life, off and on, times I left. but I'm not throwing my hat in the ring with any person politically and commit suicide. It's too small.
It's too small. That's right, though.
I'm just being honest.
You smart, because hey, y'all know about that caste system in Memphis now. Y'all know this is not the place to even do that. You know, but I respect that.
And my thing is, I'm not afraid to speak my mind.
Good,
you know, based on the way I grew up with my father, hey, I wake up in the morning, put my pants legs on one leg at a time.
Like everybody else.
So I don't owe anybody any political favors right now. I'm not in cahoots with anybody for a hidden agenda. Mm-hmm. I have white and black friends.
What you said.
But, I'm not against people coming to my community, but I am pro-black, pro-Orange Mound.
Right.
So what I do.
I love it.
What I do, I don't mind duplicating in Fraser, South Memphis, North Memphis, Westwood, anywhere. And if somebody want to talk to me, I share information freely. I don't charge a lot, for what I do, but I am competitive. I have overhead. I'm not Joe Schmo working at the back of a truck.
Right. This is a professional right here,
right.
Y'all. Yes. 31 years in contracting. So, I mean, you're not just paying. You paying for all 31 of them years, y'all. That's impressive. Nah, but with the time, so you got 2 models now, though.
Right.
They're just models, so no one is really
nobody's living in them, and it's the reason why, because I built those to use them as a model of pre-sale. I did a subdivision across the street from Greenwood Church several years ago.
I know Greenwood.
And it's a cove across the street from there. It's 14 lots with 12 infill homes. And when we built that subdivision, they told me I couldn't do it. So they just weren't the right people to be talking to.
Right.
And basically, we put together a brochure like you would see out in Cordova and subdivisions back in the day. And I pre-sold homes, but people wanted to see something. So I had a model, and basically, we went from there. So when I decided to do this, I said, well, I just need to put something up. So we got funding. We didn't get any construction loan. Nobody believed we could do it. So between private funds and line of credit and hard work, we got those 2 models built.
Okay.
We got great PR. Janine Gordon did a great story.
Shout out to Janine Gordon, yeah.
So we got good PR in February, and then this pandemic hit. We had people that were going to United Housing to get down payment assistance. Mm-hmm. But they closed down. They couldn't go in to take the classes. So then eventually, a few months ago, they opened up online.
Okay.
By then, quite a few of my potential buyers lost their jobs, and then quite a few of them didn't have access to the internet. Man. So it's been a challenge, but we're working our way through it. And one of the local news stations came out and did a story this past week to try to shine a new light on it. The story didn't actually get edited the way I thought it would, but all exposure is good.
You know how that go. We know how that go. But you're right. All exposure is good exposure. So, I mean, what's the plan? Like, are we now, is the ball back in motion for people to start coming to look at the models and start saying, hey, I got 50,000, 60, I want to invest in
Well, I have a couple of people that wanted to invest. It just wasn't the right fit. I had one guy came in, looked around at the house and stuff. He wanted to duplicate it. He had some lots, got his general contractor's license. And I don't mind. It's enough for everybody. But he wanted to take my formula and want me to just hand it to him for him to duplicate it. Said he was helping me by trying to create a market. I said, well, why don't you buy these 2 I got, and then we can work together. He would want to do that. So, I mean, really, would you go to McDonald's and lean over the counter and tell them, say, hey, let me see where you get your patties from. Let me get your bread. And while you're at it, go ahead and throw in the special sauce for the Big Mac. And then they said, well, we're going to work together, and you're going to go across the street and start selling Big Macs the same way. No, you buy a franchise. Man. Or you put an investment to it. You can't go in and steal folks' stuff and expect them to be okay with it.
The audacity of some people, though. Come on,
that
man.
That was just one person. Then I had another guy. He reached out and he said, hey, man, I've been advertising online. We're going to buy lots as a people, and we're going to rebuild communities, and we're going to do this. And he's talking we. He real French. We. So it ended up, he was like, man, let's talk. And I talked to this guy about 2.5 hours, sharing him how you go about doing development. He tell these folks, we're going to get some land. I said, man, you got to curb, gutters. You got to go through the Office of Plan and Development. You got to get engineers. You got development costs. It's going to take you about 2 years before you can even get them people returning their money.
Yeah.
He said, what would you do? I said, man, just find some clusters, some lots through the land bank, private people. Gave him all my little secret formula, my Big Mac sauce, for free. Man. And then I told him, I said, well, give me a couple of days. I get back with you and give you a proposal and see if we can work together.
Right.
It was like on a Monday. No, it was Sunday night. I said, I'll get back with you by Wednesday. Monday morning, he texted me, He called some guy, had a guy on three-way, called me one time about doing some block buildings out of concrete. I said, no, I'm not interested. Well, man, you need to check this out. No, I checked that out about 20 years ago. It's not something in Memphis where you can make money at.
Boom.
I said, I've been doing this a long time. Well, you see, I said, hold on. I'm not knocking you doing it, but I'm not doing it.
Exactly. People sure love to pull you into their stuff, man.
My thing is, if I know what I'm good at, let me do what I do.
And
I'm not okay. You go over there and do what you do. So talk to this guy. Then at the end of the day, he called me about 5 or 6 times. Man, I got people, they want to put up 500,000, this, that, and that. I said, man, okay, that's great, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to work with you. Well, he said, what I do? I got money, man. We ready to do something. I said, you got money, but you don't have any know-how.
Boom.
I said, I just can't work with somebody that can't wait till Wednesday. It's Monday. I got stuff planned. I got sick parents. I got doctor's appointments. I got stuff already scheduled. If you don't value my time now, you're not going to value my time later. So it's a lot of people that come with...
That's a lesson, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of people come with ideas. Mm-hmm. Ideas don't make money. Plans make money.
Come on,
so
man.
Until you put it on paper and put it to the numbers and actually make a strategic effort, folks will throw out stuff all day. I got so many people... And I'm not knocking them. A business is a business, whether it's a franchise, ISOT, World Venture. Whatever you do, it's fine, it's a business. But until you had to deal with some employees, people not showing up, people getting sick, taking off for birthdays, when you have to stay there and be there to have the doors open.
Man, yes.
And even when you're a contractor, and you have people that are subcontractors, and you're responsible for the whole project, regardless if you do the work or not. So taking on total responsibility is a big deal being a contractor.
It sounds like an entrepreneur to me.
Yeah. I could go on all day about this tiny house thing because people will come up in the neighborhood, why you building these little small tiny dog houses? But it was a vacant, overgrown lot before.
Nothing there. So now people are like, oh, okay. They see it on HGTV and it's the buzzword now. But since the pandemic, I went through those maybe 6 months, 7 months, where everything just pretty much stopped. Some of my subcontractors, they had corona, and I got one guy who does concrete work. He was hospitalized with kidney stones. It was a lot of things happened over the last 7 months, and business just went to zero. And all of a sudden, now people are calling. They want enclosed porches, gazebos. The kids not going back to college, so they want to put up tiny houses in the backyard. They got parents that are nursing homes and assisted living places, and they can't visit them. So it's like, hey, we need to put a little house in the back and give mama or daddy a separate place where we can go visit them. I love that idea.
Yeah, and then it's people come up with creative ways. They need a home office now because they're working from home and they need to be away from the kids who are actually online in school. So the tiny house, or they call it ADUs, accessory dwelling units, is becoming the big buzzword.
Because I love them. That's some cute stuff to me, because I was like, I just want to get tiny houses in different places. It's like my vacation home.
Right.
I'm thinking like, tiny house, perfect. Just your essential stuff, kitchen, bedroom, restroom, boom, right?
Right. And see, what we need to do is we need to get on our county commission and get the ordinance changed, because right now they have a lot of stuff. I mean, we need pocket communities where you can take a regular lot and put maybe 2 or 3 tiny homes on it. They have all the requirements about parking spaces, parking minimum. Everybody doesn't drive. Some people ride bikes, and it's a lot of other ways that people live in other cities. This past weekend, I got a chance to go to Greenwood, Mississippi, and
Greenwood,
they stacked up on this Avenue G Street, and they got the shotgun house, no parking lot, but people park on the curb, people ride their bikes. But Memphis is so stuck up in this cookie cutter suburbanite. You got to have 35 feet setback. You got to have one car per how many square feet. You got a driveway, and it's just a lot of stuff that they're requiring. And code enforcement just went through a phase of upgrading to an electronic system where you can do permitting. And I think they did it because of COVID, but it's something that should have been done 5-10 years ago. Nashville did it. So, but back to the tiny house movement. I think it's a great opportunity for a lot of people. Like I said, it's not for everyone, but it is for some people.
Right, yeah.
But everybody's trying to figure out the actual cost. They'll go to these storage companies or Home Depot and Lowe's and buy a storage shed. Oh, I can buy me a storage shed for about $6,000, $8,000, $10,000.
It's the same thing, right?
That's fine. But it doesn't have a slab, no insulation, no flooring, no wiring, no heating and air, no plumbing, no cabinets, no paint on the inside. So by the time you add all that, you'll be right back where you started. So that misnomer or the misconception of people believing that they can build a tiny house for $8,000 to $10,000, it's not going to happen.
So you're going to at least be out of 50 G's for a quality tiny house.
You can probably get the 280 square foot, about 40, 45.
Okay.
But for a quality 480, 500 square foot, it's going to be about 55, 58, somewhere up in there.
Boom. I like it though. I'm all about the tiny house. I need to take a tour of yours. We need to go out and come out and look at that, because people need to see this, and we need to get behind you and what you're trying to bring to fruition in our city, because I mean it can only help us, and especially people who look like us. And I'm sure that's a part of the reason why it's being fought so hard.
Yeah, and like looking at the tiny house movement, it's affordable. You know, a lot of people talking about affordable housing is like $150,000 to $170,000. A lot of people in the community I grew up in, they can't buy that even with a two-family household income. So affordability is one, and then being able to have some additional money outside of utilities. When your utility bill goes from $300 to $150 to $120, because the first $60 we can't get rid of that. That's our trash and mosquito waste.
What you said, all of that, that little fine print on there, y'all see it, yeah.
So if we can get to the point where people can pay $300-400 a month and have some extra money, that's going to change a lot of lives. And have something energy efficient.
You sure know what to say, yes.
And once we get to 1 bedroom, it's no problem to gradually go to the 2 bedroom and the 3 bedroom and rebuild our community. They have this conception where in the appraisal and insurance industry, me and my family, we have property in Orange Mound, and was trying to get some property refinanced. The appraisal and the insurance companies are up on both Department of Commerce insurance for the state. The insurance company came out and said we had to insure the property for $127,000, 1,800 square foot house. I'm like, okay, that's a little high for Orange Mound.
Yeah.
The appraisal guy came and was like, well, I can't find anything that's similar in square footage this size. So he went and found some REOs, some foreclosures, gave me an $18,000 appraisal for a house that's rented, generating income. Now you're going to tell me that you have 2 organizations that are governed by the same body, the Department of Commerce Insurance, and one say it's worth $127,000 and the other one says it's worth $18,000.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I can see 60 to 65, 60 to 70, but you're talking about over $100,000 difference. But you know what? I wrote a complaint and they hadn't done anything about it yet. But that goes back to show you where when a guy comes out to do the appraisal, so who owns this property?
Boom.
How long have you had it? Who did the work on this? Say you got a construction company. What else you do? You ask me stuff that have nothing to do with the cost of sticks and bricks. I pay the same for wood in Germantown, Collierville, Cordova, Orange Mound, Castalia. I pay the same everywhere I go. You may have a difference in the lot cost and a few infrastructure, but I pay the same wherever I go. So you can't tell me that you would go across the railroad track. I have 2 vacant lots on Southern.
Boom.
They have houses that have been built within the last 2 to 3 years that are appraised for $300,000. It's 3 houses. Now on Cooper Young, they're complaining because they don't like the style of the homes. But we're talking something, railroad track. You go right across the railroad track. I got a set of plans for a 1,200 square foot house. They wouldn't even give me an $80,000 appraisal. You could throw a rock and hit the houses across the railroad track that I'm planning to build. They would not go across the railroad track and use the same comps. That's the big buzzword, comps, which is short for comparables. They won't compare it to anything across the street because those are a little bit bigger. But anybody knows anything about appraisal, they can make an adjustment on the square footage and give you that value.
Exactly.
They won't do that. Then they have another way to do it is by income generation. You can have a piece of property and say it's going to be rented, show a contract. That's how this one group of people, they got in trouble years ago. They had property and they had contracts with Section 8.
Okay.
They had duplexes that were probably about $50,000 per side. But they went and got contracts with Section 8 was paying them $1,200 for those 3-bedroom, 2-bath each side. So something that costs $50 on this side, $50 on this side is $100,000. So if you get a comp, it might come back and say, okay, one down the street sold for $65. It sold for $58. So give or take, you round the high end $70,000.
Boom.
$70,000 each side, the whole building, duplex, condo, $140,000. What about if you go and say, hey, I got $1,200 I'm getting on rent on this side, $1,200 on this side. You generate $2,400 in income per month, verifiable. So they back end it and say, well, if you generate $2,400, how much would $2,400 cover on a mortgage? How much valuation? You know what they come back with? About $280,000, $300,000. So they go purchase with the comps at the 140, go to another company, and they purchase from themselves, a straw buyer from a family member or a shell company, and they buy with the inflated price based on the income generation. They pocket the 180, rent out Section 8, cover the note, and they do it over and over and over again.
Well, I'll be.
They did it for about 70 or 80 properties in 1 month. At $100,000 to $140,000. You do the math.
Somebody getting banked.
Well, somebody went to jail.
Right. Oh, because I'm saying, hey.
And the thing was, it was about 12 people that got involved in that. And the thing was, they were good people, and other people were doing it before they did it. They just took it to a new level. Most people would buy it, paint it, wait about 5 or 6 months, and then redo it. No.
Them folks are rolling with it.
They closed on both of them at the same day.
Oh.
They had both appraisals, and they went to the same closing attorney. They used this little small bank out of town, and they had the same appraiser lady. She did both appraisals, and they went there. They signed off on this one, signed off on that one, got the cash in 3 days for the other one. They was knocking off $100,000 and $140,000, $200,000 per lick. All over there on Apple Blossom and anywhere you saw some duplexes, they were buying them. People weren't even planning on moving. Buying them. They let you stay here. Buying them.
Ooh.
And they got away with it for about 4 or 5 years.
Just making
millions.
Ooh.
But see, people don't know how that went. They just heard the narrative of the news. But the thing was, it wasn't illegal until they started expediting doing the same day. Other people were doing it where it took months or they would drag it out for a couple.
So is it best to drag it out like stocks? You know, is you going to wait and be patient with it? It's best to do it like that because it sounded like they were steamrolling that thing, just knocking them out.
Well, the thing was, you got to have separate entities. You don't use the same appraiser people. Don't use the same banks. You know, it's a lot of stuff that it came out to be a perception of fraud.
Yeah.
So
because they were using the same everything. Because these folks know how it goes, so they just go.
Hey, why we need to?
If it ain't broke,
they just found out what people are doing and they took it to another level. But that's just another whole thing. I mean, it's like Memphis is so politically connected.
Oof.
There are people that won't say anything, but over by Airways, junior high, I don't know what middle school now.
Middle school. It's like an alternative school now.
Everybody been wondering all these years why the airport is supposed to buy the land.
Yeah.
It's been vacant. I complain, hey, we got lots. There used to be houses over there.
Yes, I remember.
No, they finna slide in an industrial center. Put an industrial park over there. I complained. I reached out. Shh, be quiet. Keep your mouth shut.
An industrial park.
Mm-hmm. I asked about, hey, what about the traffic? T-Dot got a plan. Well, right there, it's already bad getting off the interstate at
very. That's why when I shop, shop is up there. It's bad.
It's wrecks every week.
And so what they gonna do about that?
They finna redo that whole intersection. They said they got a lot of money. They gonna put a new off ramp for this industrial park that's gonna be over there. I said, well, what about the sound barrier? What about 18-wheelers? What about this? They had a town hall meeting. First they weren't going to do it, but I complained because they had just approved it without having the steps followed through for a typical because of the pandemic.
Of course not.
I said, well, we can't have a meeting, but we can do it online. We can do a phone. So they had a call-in meeting. And basically, they did the meeting as a hush, hush, be quiet, but they still steamrolled it. And so now it's planning to be an industrial park.
Right now, today, that's what they finna do with that.
Yep. Oh, it's a lot of stuff. They got this thing called Airtropolis that's gonna come from the airport, go straight down Airways and turn down Lamar with a monorail system. They've been working on that for 20 years. Nobody heard nothing about it.
I ain't heard nothing.
They got a master plan for the Coliseum already. I ain't said nothing about it.
Cause why everybody out there talking about save the Coliseum? You tell me they got a plan for it
already, man. They got a picture with retail center. They got pictures with condos, all kind of stuff over there. So while people over here protesting and they got moves already made in the background.
And it's not to rebuild the Coliseum at all. It's what they gonna tear it down and build, or what they gonna do.
Well, the Coliseum wasn't even in the picture, but now they're trying to work around it. So they're like, okay, we'll let you. It's sort of like Bugs Bunny when he wouldn't move, and they just built the interstate around him.
Oh, Memphis.
It's a lot of stuff going on. Like I say, they might come for me after this, but I don't care. I ain't going nowhere. I'm like Tupac. I ain't hard to find.
What you said? Look, they already know I be stirring up trouble because I just like to make sure the people know.
Right.
Because, I mean, I know they doing the one bill thing, and that's taking up half of downtown all the way up to the hood. Punta Talk, like over in there. So
I reached out, trying to be a minority vendor, and someone introduced me to a person. It's like, okay, they talked to me like I had never done anything. Even though I'm a small general contractor, I work for Turner Construction. They were like the third largest general contractor in the country at the time. That was my first job out of college. I was assistant engineer. I helped rebuild Terminal 2 at LAX 2 Airport.
Look out.
My third day on the job, I saved them over $800,000.
And they talking to you like you small.
Well, the thing was, my manager was so excited. He's like, we can't lose you. You're a jewel. He took me in the middle of the day to a baseball game. I sat on the front row, put my feet up, and he bought me a hot dog and a Coke on the Dodgers.
He already knew what it was.
In the middle of the day. Well, like I tell people, my parents, they're great people. Both of them have health issues, but my parents gave me a great sense of value, and my brothers, Maurice Jones and Sean Jones, they've been my rock. And my cousin Shay, he's like a brother. They don't always agree with me. I've been this visionary, come up with these wild ideas. Like, man, what are you doing? But they ride with me. They let me do what I do.
That's all you need.
And it's like, man, I can't believe you posted on social media. I can't believe you said that. I'm like, I ain't afraid of nobody.
What you got to be afraid of?
If people get upset, there's a lot of folks take it personal. I post stuff that may help other people. It's not necessarily about my particular life. I try to encourage people. But at the end of the day, it's some people that are totally against tiny houses, and I get it. If you have a large family, it's not for you. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to live in Orange Mound, it's not for you. But it could be a help for somebody else. I help the homeless. I work with Lyle Udell with the Urban Bicycle Food Ministry.
Shout out, yes. I rode around a few times with them. I did.
The burrito ministry.
Yeah. I would take cookies.
Yeah.
So I feel like they can have cookies and a burrito. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, I partner with a lot of people. I work with Grow Memphis, and, I meet people from all backgrounds and diverse groups. I remember Josephine was over there, and then it just evolved. You know, my guy Marlon Foster over in South Memphis with Knowledge Quest. You know, his brother Ladrick Bronner was my best friend. He passed away in a car accident several years ago, but he has done a great thing. He's a pastor of a church, but he has after-school program Knowledge Quest, and he also has his humongous community garden. It's growing.
Wow.
And it's great. And then, like, you know, Rashawn also doing great things, and Frazier and the works and so forth. So I know a lot of people that are doing some things, but it's at the point where people see the fruit of the labor, but they don't necessarily see the struggle that went in. Like, people see 2 tiny houses, not knowing all the struggles and the headaches I'm going through and have gone through just to get to the point to get those houses up.
Just 2 of them.
Just 2. And just to pray that they don't get vandalized. Just to pray that, you know, the person that moves in, it can be a blessing to them. I know right now several people that could benefit. I have over 40-something people that have inquired. They have credit issues. They have issues with getting financing. There's so many barriers for people just to get that first step. A lot of people don't even believe they can even buy a home.
Because what happened to that whole first-time buyer's assistance that everybody else are privy to? So is that not a thing?
It's a thing. Even veterans, they had a 0 down payment. At the time, it was a 580 score. Now it's a 640 with stable income. That's it. Pinnacle Bank right now has a program. They'll pay up to 10% down, up to $7,500 your down payment costs. Nothing down, move in. If you got a 640 credit score, verifiable income, it's a good chance that you can get down payment assistance. United Housing has a program. But the thing is, me being in construction and dealing with the day-to-day operations, I put a lot of responsibility into a realtor, try to connect them directly to finance companies. It's just people just don't have to follow through. They hear me on the radio, they see me on the news, they get excited, they call, I forward them. Like when I was on the news last week, several people called, I forward them information, then they went cold. So I need somebody that's just gonna be able to follow up, stay on top of it, and just manage that part. And it's a market. I mean, I've had private investors come up and say, hey, you know, I buy those houses for $35,000. I said, man, that's not even my break-even point. Right now, I would sell to somebody my break-even point, but people don't understand the value. And it's not like, I mean, I want to sell them, but I'm not going to give them away. It was too much hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm not going to give away a $50,000 house for $35,000 and take a $15,000 loss.
Why would you? I mean, that's crazy. I mean, you better hold tight, know when to hold them. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's gonna come a time when that's gonna be. I'm telling you, like they gonna have to come with 100, 150,000 because they gonna know the value of it and what it's gonna bring to the table. Because, like you said, that's gonna help people get on their feet. You see what I'm saying? Now it's insulated, so your light bill ain't gonna be all high. It's small, and you know you're not gonna have to do too much to it to keep it up in maintenance. So I mean, I'm thinking the tiny houses are a go. So I just wanted to make sure you got on here and tell the people what it is and what it ain't, and I mean the red tape and all of that you're having to go through just to assist people who need help. That's crazy to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, why try to block the person who's trying to assist people who need help, Memphis? Why do that?
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that's at the Salvation Army, and the CAPS program. They get fixed income, like I said, extended stay. There are so many programs. They're looking for housing for people, but they're trying to find these old houses and fix them up. You're gonna buy a house for $20,000 and spend $30,000, $40,000 to fix it, or you're gonna spend $15,000 to halfway fix it, and then you throw people in there. I'm like, okay, I can partner with you and let you get something a little bit above my cost and give you some quality stuff. Well, let me think about it, you know. And you know, some people are on board with the tiny house movement, and some people aren't. But that's okay. That's with anything.
That's with anything.
You know, I don't expect a vegan to want to go to a steakhouse.
Exactly. You're right. Everybody ain't your customer. Like you said, it ain't for everybody. But, you know, it is for somebody. And somebody who needs it, you know. So, what can we do to, how soon or how possible is it for someone to get in the 2 that you've already built, just to even have a model of it actually working? You see what I'm saying? Like somebody in it, living, functioning, maintaining.
Well, if they reached out to me, I have a website. It's DwayneAJones.com.
Boom.
And it's DWAYNE. A lot of people like to slide that E in there.
Exactly.
So DWAYNEAJONES.com. And you can go there and have a contact information. And they can put their information, and I can plug them right into the finance. And if all goes well, they can be in there before Christmas. It normally takes 30 to 45 days. So it could be close to Thanksgiving, but the holiday coming up, somebody could actually be in there before Christmas and enjoy their first Christmas in a new home for less than $500 a month.
Now, that's some good news for somebody. Look, y'all, come on there. Because I'd love to see. Now, that's what I want to see on the news. Right. You know, cutting the tape or whatever, and somebody going into their new home. They might have a kid or something, or just whatever it is, just somebody who's trying to get on their feet and just make a home. And
you gotta see it. I'll see your video, but if you actually go to Janine Gordon, or I can send you a link to the story she did on Bluff City.
Boom.
It's amazing. It's a vaulted ceiling. It has subway tile. It has a full-size bed, full-size kitchen, space for a full-size refrigerator, full-size stove, and a full-size washer and dryer. None of that mini stuff like you see in the little trailers. Everything is full-size.
Everything full-size. So the tiny house ain't tiny.
It ain't tiny.
Because that's what I'm thinking. Like how, you might have to get the portable washer and dryer. No.
Everything's full-size. That's why you got to come see it.
I gotta see this. We're gonna see it. Local Vibes Only, y'all family, get ready, because I'm gonna go live, and we're gonna go with Dwayne Jones and check that out, because I'm excited. I feel like more people need to know about it, and we need to get behind you and your mission to assist those who need it, especially in Orange Mound. I was raised in Orange Mound. Yeah. That's my stomping grounds too. I almost went to Melrose, but they bused me to White Station. Okay. My sister went to Melrose, though. Yeah. But anything you want to tell the people, though, before you leave me? Like, tell them again your website and how they can contact you, first.
Yeah, you can contact me at DwayneAJones.com. That's DWAYNEAJONES.com. And I have a contact page. It's a real simple page. A few pictures. I do mission work in Ghana, Togo, West Africa, India, and Haiti.
Man,
so I got a few pictures of that. We do community gardens. We do pop-up bike rides. People say they don't have a bike, so we actually got 30 bikes, a fleet of bikes, where we just go to the big river crossing. We go to Fraser.
When y'all do that? I love riding bikes. When y'all do
Bike
that?
Ride 901. That's what I got on Facebook. Bike Ride 901.
I'm going to look that up. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We'll probably have maybe 1 or 2 more rides before the weather
will get too cold.
Yeah, but next year we're going to do a full season and have it all posted a little bit better.
Well, let me know, because I can share that and get more people involved with that one. Yeah, definitely.
We did raised beds. You got one.
Yes, I did. Look, I sadly to say, though, I let my garden just do what it do. Yeah. It's something back there right now. I don't know what, it's taller than me. I'm scared to go back there and look at my garden, man.
We did over, I think we did 74 raised bed boxes. So anything. We're trying to help people, and the thing was, we were in between. We were waiting for the pandemic. We had wood just laying on the yard. So people telling me, man, these folks want $70. They want $100. I said, give me $20.
And see, and that's what I'm talking. That was love. So I'm like, man, we can get some of these.
Right. So we went down to Miss Senatobia. People call everywhere I say, hey, you're going to charge pay for a delivery fee to come down. I said, okay, bring me 4 of them.
That's what I'm talking about.
One trailer, and we rolled out.
That's
so it was an opportunity to raise a little interest in gardening and give my guys a few dollars in their pockets during the pandemic.
Yeah, you did that. And I'm telling you, this is a A1 guy right here. Look, I remember I was on there. I said I needed some apples. The man went to the stove, brought the apples, put them on the door. That was in the heat of the pandemic. And I know he's always making sure that his folks eat. He's like one of them folks his folks gonna eat even if he ain't ate. So, and I'm just saying, like, that's the type of people that you definitely want to get out here and support. So it's nothing for me to get out here and say, hey, need you on the show, tell the people what it is and what it ain't about these tiny houses so that we can get behind you and back what you're trying to bring, especially to Orange Mound, especially.
I just want to say one thing, though. Like, even though I'm the voice and my brother say I'm the brain, my family is big in my life. You know, like I say, my parents, they provided a great foundation for all of us. And they both have health issues. And I appreciate my brothers. You know, being a caregiver is not easy.
Right.
My dad's battling cancer right now. I actually took him to chemo and was rushed home to get over here to this interview. But just having an opportunity to be a blessing to my family, and my family blessing me. My brother Maurice, he works hard as anybody I know. And he's in construction. He graduated, all of us graduated from Tennessee State of Engineering. But my brother Maurice, he handled the field. He the bronze of the family. You better not step to none of us wrong, because my brother got you.
I believe it.
He's straight ethylene.
I done seen the man. Look, I believe it.
Well, he does excellent screen print. He did these shirts. He
do screen print too.
Yeah, but he's just in the family business doing construction. And my youngest brother, you know, he's in the construction. He helped manage projects, but he's a family person, has responsibilities, and he's a police officer from 11 to 7:30 out of the depot. So he gets off from work and come work doing construction and grab a nap in between. So
y'all some hard working man.
My brothers, they get it. My cousin Shay, he's a provider for his family, and he gets up and get it. Now, I mean, I couldn't do none of this stuff without them. So even though I come on the air and people see me, my brothers and my cousins,
you got a whole team, family right here. I love it. Yeah. And y'all doing the dang thing, because it's not always easy to work with family.
No, I mean, like I said, I think I'm more the issue a lot of times, because I'm always, I don't sleep much. You know, I'm up at 3:34 most mornings. People like, he posting already?
Yeah, that's my time.
That's in between me doing invoices, doing proposals, trying to figure out how to work around this pandemic. You know, I got some young guys out with Corona. I got people that are down. I was in an accident, somebody hit me, got a truck out the shop. So even though I'm here, I got my set of issues too. But I still believe in affordable housing. I believe in family. I believe in Orange Mound. And I believe in you. That's why I'm here.
Man, and I'm so glad you came through.
And I love me some Makita cookies.
That
banana pudding.
That nana pudding.
I'm diabetic, but I can stop by every now and then.
What you said, and you know we appreciate it, man. You know we appreciate it. And I mean, I'm just, because when I first saw you talking about the tiny house, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get him in the interview, but I need an interview. I need to talk to him. I need to get some more information, because I didn't know a lot. And so you just schooled me and my audience. And so you already know I'm going to have it on YouTube. I'm going to blast it on Facebook and Instagram, because I feel like people need to know it. And it could be somebody in, you know, my family who need a house. Right. And, you know, can meet that financing, those financing qualifications. What you say, 650 credit score?
640. If you get 640 in a job, it's a good chance you can get one.
Boom. Boom. That ain't
I'm gonna let you in on the scoop. I hadn't even put this out here yet.
Boom. Talk to us.
The next level that they're fighting, shipping container homes. Now, they really need to be classified under modular homes. So like the Jim Walter, where they're made off-site and you bring them and you put them on the site already made.
Okay.
Modular homes get inspected by a third party, where they check for your heating and air, your electrical, your plumbing, and all that's your structural stuff before it leaves the plant. It's actually built in a climate control warehouse. That way you can bring it and set it up and actually put it together on site. Boom. You show them your placard, you've been certified, your house is ready.
Pop-up house, boom, you just there.
But a lot of people have been complaining they don't like the container look, but they have facades and skins that you can put on those containers and make them look different.
Okay.
Everybody just complained about, well, I don't want that in my house, I don't know neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. You can actually build a shipping container house and have one dropped off about $40,000, $50,000 and it'll be ready to roll. You can drop it in somebody's backyard with a crane, front yard, but shipping container homes, it's another viable option. But right now, tiny houses on wheels is not an option. They consider those RVs. You're not technically supposed to park an RV in a residential neighborhood. So you wouldn't necessarily want it in Chickasaw, Germantown, but there are areas where it would be beneficial. A lot of people don't know it, but Orange Mound, they were against that LGBT center for the 18 to 24-year-olds.
Really?
And they decided, they said, well, we're not going to argue. We're not going to push the issue. They moved, and they have built a new shipping container structure on Southern. It's a gray building. And Cooper Young welcomed them in, and it's right there on the railroad track. Shipping containers.
I haven't even noticed it.
Yeah, it's right there when you pass Cooper. It's on if you're going towards Lamar, it's on the left hand side. It's sort of like they put some skin on it, but it's a gray building. It's about 1,800, 2,000 square feet, and it's a facility. They got a big old billboard outside. What it's for? 18 to 24-year-old people who are in transition, may have fallen out with their family, homeless, don't have anywhere to go.
I heard about them talking about this. And it's already...
It's built.
I'm going to have to go see. I'm driving down Southern tomorrow.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
So certain communities, like, it was about a block away where they want to do the initial one off of Hoskins in Orange Mound.
I know Hoskins. I stayed over there.
Right there on the corner where I did this green house, 2970 Hoskins, and then curves back around the Elk Gate or something like that. But anyway, it's a church on the corner. It's an alley behind there. They wanted to build it back there in the community. People in the community are like, we don't want them here. We don't this. Why? It'd be different if they thought the housing was going to diminish the value of the house. They were just some discriminatory, prejudiced people. So I went to a community meeting with Denise Williams, Denise Green, my cousin, and some more people. And we kind of mediated and came to a compromise. But before we could even pitch the proposal, they're like, you don't want us? We don't want to be here. They removed their proposal and they left. It was a big issue in the news.
Wow.
But it was a shipping container project. And the people at Boxlot, I helped them walk through, but it was a big mess going through Office of Plan Development and Code Enforcement. They're not on the same page. Code Enforcement, they got a lot of, that's another issue, another post I told you about, Code Enforcement.
So what's
I don't know how much time we got, but I've been a contractor since 89. And since 1989, as a general contractor, we have building inspections. And then each trade, heating, air, electrical, plumbing, they have their own inspectors.
Okay.
So when I build a house or do addition, I have to pull a general building permit. The electrician has to pull his, the plumber has to pull his.
I've gone through. I had to wait on all of them to come in and inspect at least 3 Makitas now.
Right. If you do a UNO, it's the same process.
Okay.
But you got to add on the food guy, the sign guy, and the fire marshal. Long story short, from the building part, they've been nice, they've been friendly, they've been cordial, they've been responsive. But I've been on the job site when the electrical, the plumbing, and the mechanical, they have shown favoritism based on neighborhood and based on contractor. I have personally seen over the 30 years, several times, the inspector will get out, they have stickers. One is red for the fail, green is pass. I've seen them get out on particular contractors with a red sticker in his hand. Knowing he's going to fail before he even looked at the project.
Right there.
I've seen him get out and walk around and talk with some people, never even look at the work, get him the sticker, and say, man, talk to you later, such and such. So it's favoritism. And like I said on my post, I don't want to necessarily call it racism because I can only speak for myself. I'm not sure how you do other people, but I don't think it's just a typical haphazard my job. And another thing, out of my 30 years, and I said this on my post, I may be wrong, but I have never had an inspection with a female inspector in 30 years.
Never. So are there any female inspectors?
I've seen one in the building department, but I haven't seen her on a job site. Now, when it comes to inspection, I have only seen 3 African Americans. One guy may have been Hispanic or something.
Yeah, because every time I done had one done, it was always an older white man. Every time.
30 years. 30 years. So you're trying to tell me we talk about diversity in Memphis with the population, we can't find any qualified applicants that can become inspectors? I'm not asking anybody to set a quota, but it should be, they rotate people from certain departments. They rotate people. You get people that come in and they think they're God. You call in and ask a question, they talk down to you, they belittle you. And I reached out to a couple council people. I reached out and I posted open letters and so forth. Nobody want to talk about this 800-pound gorilla in the room. Code enforcement is and then they go back to talking about the permit approval process. We're not talking about the people in office. That's diversity. As a matter of fact, most of the women out there in the administrative, in the front office, in the clerical, when you first walk in there, you see black and brown people.
Boom.
There's some back in the back doing plan review. They had male, female, white, black. It's diversity inside of the office. But when it comes to field inspection, I just can't see after 30 years, I haven't seen a woman.
Because that's where the power is. They got you already said, they got the pass and fail slips in their hand. So and I love my city, but I find that they don't give that type of power to a lot of women or people of color.
And you can't tell me with minority-owned contractors, minority-owned consultants, engineers, or even if we advertise statewide, nationwide, if you can open up for other positions nationwide, why couldn't we do that? But the thing is, these people stay in these positions 30, 40 years. And not saying they're not knowledgeable of their trade, but it goes back to a bigger question when we start talking about Memphis politics. We have people that stay in position and they don't groom anybody for the next generation. We don't have a succession set up in any of our office all about me, and they have good intention when they start. But once they get in office and they start seeing all these opportunities and people start waving money and...
Don't they start holding on, don't want to let go of the seat.
They forget who brought them there and how they got there and what their purpose is.
Yeah, all of that.
And I don't have a problem with people taking advantage of opportunity, but don't forget where you came from.
Please don't.
I mean, it's a lot of people I grew up with in Orange Mound, went to Melrose. They worked hard, didn't go to college. Some went to college and some worked themselves up to management, retirement ages. They moved out to the suburbs. They don't come back to the hood for nothing. They don't even want people to know they from Orange Mound or they went to Melrose.
That's crazy.
And the thing is, you don't have to be a part of the solution, but don't be a part of the problem. When people talk about the community or want to raise something, I pulled myself up, and they should be able to pull themselves up by their bootstrap. Everybody don't have the same mental capacity, the same opportunities, and it's just a big snowball. I mean, we can get into this political thing because there's some politicians that I just think are good people. You know, Van Turner's a good guy.
Good guy.
I like Paul Young, Housing Authority.
I've never met him. He's a good guy, though.
Good guy.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a few of them.
Some bad apples. You know it's going to be some bad apples among the bunch.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't mind saying names, but I tried to reach out to G.A. Hardaway a couple times.
G.A. didn't say nothing. G.A. He was doing, hold on, he did the Orange Mound Black Restaurant Week.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, man.
I mean, this goes all the way back. I went to support him at one of his functions. He had a breakfast at Applebee's. I was talking to a friend of mine, Anthony Sledge.
Yeah.
He walked over and just pulled the guy away. Didn't say excuse me, didn't say nothing. I thought that was kind of rude.
That is kind of rude. That ain't kind of, that's rude.
I did a tiny house village in Nashville with one of my fraternity brothers, Jeff Carr, and was trying to do it in Memphis. He had 50 million questions. Where the restaurant was going to be, what it's going to be. He had all against the project.
That's what I feel like. If you come out with a lot of questions, you really don't have any plans of supporting it anyway, because you try to find
so, like I say,
problem.
It's not personal, but the thing is, the times I have seen him, he came down on one of those bike rides with Lyle Udell.
Really?
And, yeah, it was a guy that was riding a bike he brought down there. He actually drove his truck and met us at different points and stuff. So I appreciate you coming out there, but he do a lot of stuff for PR for me.
I reached out. It's a lot of them that do it for PR.
Yeah, I reached out on social media a couple times, and like I say, somebody gonna go back and tell them, I don't care. We can talk.
You know it. You know it. Yeah.
But one thing about it, I can say, Jamita Swearingen, we don't always agree, but she's always been responsive. She's always given me feedback. And
I like her
She's
too.
always been at a lot of events. So my hat's off to Jamita. I really appreciate her.
Shout out Jamita Swearingen. Where? Right, yeah.
So, like I say, it's a few more people. I ain't got no problem shouting out no name.
Yeah, because that's what we need to know, who on our team and who's not. Yeah. So we know who to support and who to put in office and who to put in place, because that's what we kind of fall short We don't know who to put in place to get these balls rolling in our favor. We go with the popularity.
Yeah, and like you say, I think Steve Cohen, good guy.
Going with Cohen. We still going with Cohen.
But you know what? I'm tired of him giving me calendars. I need something beside a calendar for Steve Cohen.
We need more than calendars, Steve.
Yeah. Every time he show up at a function, he want to pass out calendar. Give me something beside a calendar for the new year.
I wonder what the calendar about, though.
No, it's just his thing.
Just his thing. Oh man.
So, yeah, I mean, I can sit here and go all day, but I will digress.
Look, I like all day though, but I love the information that you're giving out though, because that's what we needed. Because my audio didn't stop, but I still got my video. My video keeps on going like I like. All right, so and I'm just thankful that you came out and just to shed some light on the tiny houses, on what's going on in the city. Because right over there, what you just told me about airways, my mind is still blown. I'm holding my composure, but my mind is still blown by that one. And it's just, I love my city, and I know that there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And I thank you for uncovering a lot of the behind the scenes. But, just know that you get our support here, Power 99, local vibes only. Like, if you just need to come on and talk about what you need to talk about, just let me know. And I'll make sure to bring you on so we can get it out there and let the people know. Because, I'm all about power to the people.
I thank you for the opportunity, and I will definitely be back.
Yeah, well, then I'll see you later. And thank you so much. Thank you. All right, y'all. Dwayne Jones in this thing. The tiny house extraordinaire, man, contractor for 31 years, man of God, all around good guy. But he ain't, you can't walk over him. He ain't taking no mess. Yeah, the only L I think he taking out here is lessons. So y'all better get right and get left. Support our brother in his endeavors. Salute. I hope y'all stay tuned. It's going to be on YouTube, Spotify, and Anchor. Y'all be able to catch this interview. Thank y'all for rocking with me, Tammy T. We in this thing, y'all. A little bit more bass word to go and finish us out. Man, perfect.